is a connection. And Descartes didn't really know, well, sort of knew what he was doing, but that's a very old perspective, because there's always things going on in the unconscious. Or do we really have choice? I don't know. Some people argue that the subconscious, the unconscious, is actually more powerful than the conscious. Who knows? We're all living in the matrix. Canoe. Okay. The holistic approach. One of the most influential holistic approaches is the traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, not to be confused with this TCM, Turner Classic Movies. Oh, that's holistic medicine. Where's the Turner Classic? That's holistic stuff. Maybe. Well, I think I screwed that up. It just made me laugh when I saw TCM. I like old movies. Holistic medicine basically considers the mind, body, spirit, and emotions and all that type of stuff. And it is geared toward prevention more so than the mind, body, physical stuff. It involves using our senses, observing, touching, smelling, to assess health issues, all sorts of different things. This is actually, for WebMD, is a really pretty good description of holistic approach and proper balance and everything like that. See, I like the example. So we've got a holistic doctor may use all forms of healthcare, from conventional medication to alternative therapies to treat the patient. For example, when a person suffering from migraine headaches pays a visit to a holistic doctor, instead of walking out solely with medications, or going to the pharmacy to do so, the doctor will likely take a look at the potential factors that may be causing the person's headaches, such as other health problems, diet and sleep habits, stress and personal problems, and preferred spiritual practices. The treatment plan may involve drugs to relieve symptoms, but also lifestyle modifications to help prevent the headaches from recurring. And there's all these different principles. And I think more and more folks are understanding that we need to take a holistic approach, even as, for most folks, doctors are trained to do more of the physical ailments type stuff. So that's another sort of issue that we're dealing with, different approaches, different strokes for different folks. What you talking about, Willis? And then another sort of issue that we're dealing with within the landscape of health communication is patient empowerment. Particularly with technology, we, just regular people, if we have access to all this type of stuff, because there is still a huge digital divide. Not everybody has the internet. It's amazing, isn't it? But we can become very educated. We can empower ourselves by doing lots of research. My mom has stage 4 cancer, but she's doing pretty well. But when I found out, I got online. I became an expert on this stuff just by reading the internet. It's amazing. And so I could ask, for oncologists, educated questions and things like that. But so we can empower ourselves. Patient empowerment, which is really different than, by the way, most of us are just as smart as doctors. Yeah, not really. Well, I'm a doctor, but a different type of doctor. Okay, but here's, empower patients tend to ask questions and state preferences, And compared to previous generations of patients, they are more likely to seek health consultations, not because they are ill, but because they would like information or feedback on a health issue. So it's all about health literacy and everything like that. And then I get, that's what I just said, the bottom of 22 is pretty important. I like this little quote too. As we move farther into the information age, health professionals will do more than just treat their patients' ills. They will increasingly serve as their coaches, teachers, and colleagues, working side by side with empowered consumers. I don't like the word consumers. In a high-quality system of computer-supported, low-cost, self-managed care. Yeah. But there are consequences, obviously. Patient empowerment relieves some of the pressure on caregivers to fix people who do very little to maintain their own health. On the other hand, patient empowerment dispels the notion that people should simply follow health professionals' orders. It's no longer enough, if it ever was, simply to tell patients what to do. Yeah, but at the same time, I think, I have some friends who are medical doctors, and they get, somebody comes in, oh, I saw on WebMD that blah, 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 oh, we're really not smarter than doctors or folks who have gone through medical school. They know more than we do. And so we can't be so empowered that we become arrogant. So there's always a drawback. But another issue, we lots of information out there. Patients are empowered. All right, so those are the issues, some of the issues that we're dealing with when we're thinking about this larger context of health communication. All this stuff about preventive care, money and cost, efficiency, different treatment approaches, issues of patient empowerment. And there have been a lot of social changes that we've seen throughout the last few decades here. Changes. David Bowie died last year. It's sad. Okay. Of cancer. The first subsection here is global health. Pandemics. Woo! Scary stuff. The new funky donkey virus is making the rounds. Okay. This is from NPR. I thought it was good information. And you can go to CDC to find stuff. This is called the Curious Goat, and that just made me laugh. So, how to prepare for a pandemic. If something's going on, there's Ebola, Zika, yellow fever, tick-borne diseases, with Lyme diseases leading the way. Okay. So much stuff going on. Everything's going to hell. In a handbasket. Okay, get your vaccines. They're not crazy stuff, right? They're vaccines. They work. Virus knowledge. Know your virus. You're going to need the old noggin and some skepticism. Keep up with the news and try to understand what threats might be out there, but don't go, what? We're all gonna die. Where are the diseases? Everywhere. Okay. Wash your hands. The things you learn in my online lectures. Wash your hands. Even if you don't work there. Okay. That's it. That's how to prepare for a pandemic. Get your vaccinations, learn stuff, and wash your hands. Everything will be fine. Okay. So, but we're living in a global world. Folks flying all over the place. So, yeah. That's one of the social changes, right? Changing populations. Our lifespan these days is pretty crazy. I mean, back in the day, people only lived to be like 12, and they were really short. But since people are living longer, people are going to have chronic diseases, whether it be cancer or whatever, that they try to maintain life as long as possible. Hopefully it's a decent life. Sometimes I think we want to maintain life just to maintain life, even if that life no longer is worthy of living, which is problematic in my mind. I don't know. All about quality. Changing populations. So chronic disease we're going to be dealing with. Since people are living longer, there's always issues of race and culture, and back to issues of poverty and money. By 2042, people from current minority racial ethnic groups will comprise the majority of the U.S. population. This presents an unprecedented richness of diversity. Unfortunately, it is anticipated that people from minority groups will still have disproportionately fewer educational and professional opportunities than others, meaning that the number of underprivileged individuals in the United States will probably rise. That's huge. And also, we all know that folks who don't have access to good education and all that stuff, lack health literacy, trying to bridge those gaps. And doctors are still mostly white dudes, and professors, like me. Oh, woe is me. A middle-class, highly educated white dude. Okay, so it says currently minorities comprise about 12% of physicians and 18.5% of registered nurses, which is far smaller than their representation in population. As a result, the odds are that patients will be treated by caregivers who differ